Hi, welcome to Home Farm. Today we're going to be reviewing this combination smoke and carbon monoxide alarm from X-Sense.
As a rural farmhouse, we have two wood-burning stoves that we use predominantly during the winter period to supplement our heating. And when we do use those quite frequently through the winter, we do obviously want to make sure that we're monitoring our carbon monoxide, even though those rooms do have lots of windows, and we make sure that during periods where we are using them, we are keeping those rooms really well ventilated. But it's really important to have an alarm in those rooms to be able to notify us if there's any dangerous toxins or air buildup in those rooms.
Definitely. The previous owners had hardwired smoke detectors throughout the property, so I think we've got our bases covered there. They also put up two battery-operated carbon monoxide monitors in the living room and in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But you know,
they're cheapies, though. They're not. I don't even think they're branded. I think they feel really rickety, and they're just not. I don't really trust them.
Yeah, and you have to have that confidence to actually know that they are working, because carbon monoxide is a completely different beast. It's odorless. It is potentially lethal. So it is something that you do want to ensure that you've got something actually monitoring the air to detect whether there is carbon monoxide in it. X-Sense sent us two of the SC07s, which is the combination carbon monoxide and smoke alarm.
Yeah, they gifted it to us, so thank you very much.
Thank you. The first thing that stands out when you open the actual box is that the unit itself looks really well made and very good quality.
Yeah.
It's got a little LCD screen, and it is monitoring for both carbon monoxide and smoke in real time.
And it looks like it's got a really big speaker area.
It does.
Doesn't it?
And it does say on here somewhere that the decibel reading is 85 decibels, so that's going to be pretty loud, and it's going to definitely draw your attention to it.
Yeah, they look really professional, don't they? I mean, it feels solid. It doesn't like our current ones. They kind of feel like really cheap plastic. They feel like everything's it's like really brittle, and like it rattles, and it's just rubbish. And I think the previous owners painted over ours.
Yeah, which
again, I think is a no-no.
I don't think you're supposed to do.
So this one actually says do not paint. And yeah, as I said, it's got a really nice screen and a really nice speaker area. So it just actually looks like you could trust this.
Yeah, this has got a built-in battery that lasts for 10 years. So after which time, you can't actually replace the battery in these. So basically you're gonna have to replace the whole unit. But at least you know that once you put them up, this thing's going to be operating for 10 years. And the one thing that you noticed is on the actual plate that gets mounted on the ceiling, it says on the bottom that, attention, once assembled, the device can no longer be switched off. So basically, I think once you screw it on, that's it. So, don't, if you do get one and you start playing around with them and you kind of just, put it into place.
Don't open the box and just fiddle around with it.
Yeah, because it's going to activate.
Yeah. The installation seemed really easy and straightforward.
It was really easy.
And I think they just look so good. They really look nice and smart on the ceiling. So I've got to say, I never thought that I would say that a smoke detector or carbon monoxide monitor would be attractive. It's not really something that you really think about, but I have to say a lot of them are not very aesthetically pleasing. And it's just nice. It makes a big difference when you look up to actually see something on the ceiling that doesn't look like a bit of an eyesore. It looks really smart and clean, and just gives you a bit of confidence when you actually look at it. You don't think it looks like some rickety kind of, nicotine stained, kind of yellowed, horrible, old, clunky smoke detector.
I just think the choice of colours was quite clever, because they are quite muted, neutral colours.
Yeah.
So, most people, a white and grey kind of device that gets put on the ceiling does tend to hide. You're right, from an installation perspective, it was super easy. It's just got 3 little screws. The one thing that you do have to note is when you actually put it up and swivel it, it activates and it makes a quite a loud beep so that you know that it's in place. And at that point, it's now activated and it will now run for 10 years. I don't think there's actually a way of turning it off. And the one thing that we did do is we did press the test button.
Yeah, with our 2 cats in the room, who I would just really strongly advise, if you've got babies, infants, or pets, like I'm not sure how it affects dogs, because I'm presuming that they've still got really good hearing. But certainly our cats did not enjoy the experience at all. So I would definitely encourage you to remove infants, babies, toddlers, and animals, pets from the room before you test it, because it is penetrating.
It's piercing. It's
it's really like, it really gets you. It's like, oh my God. It's loud. If you're asleep, you're going to wake up. For sure.
So the test is quite short, but it still is. It's long enough to disrupt.
Be uncomfortable.
As you've mentioned, pets or infants. But I think it's worth doing purely because you just want to make sure that it is activated and that it is actually working properly. So definitely do the test, but just clear the actual room.
Yeah, you can go into the next room, but just close the door because it is very loud.
From a build perspective, I think that it's very, very well made. It feels durable. It feels heavy. As we mentioned at the outset, we've got 2 other kind of cheapo type units. They are a bit plastic and a bit rickety. This one actually does feel like
chunky
it's chunky and well made.
Yeah, it does. It feels
and it's funny how that just gives you the impression and the confidence that this thing's actually going to last. So from that perspective, I think it's pretty good.
I also think that, especially it's really convenient for people that are renting, or if you're leasing a property and you don't have a smoke detector in there, or the smoke detector that has been put in there previously doesn't look like it's really very good, then I would encourage you to get something like this, because it is not hardwired. The previous owners had hardwired the detectors in our property. And I see the benefits of that in the fact that they're all connected, and that, obviously then you don't have to worry about batteries, but the batteries do last 10 years. And I have to say, I'm not sure if I was to build my own or move into a new home that didn't have smoke detectors or carbon monoxide alarms, I don't think I would hardwire. I don't think it's worth the hardwiring and running all the extra cabling that you have to have when you've got battery units that give you the flexibility to be able to put them anywhere. Whereas when it's a hardwired unit, you obviously can't really, you can move it, but it's going to cost money, and you're going to have to get people in to move it if you want to put a light fixture near it or something like that. So they're a bit of a hassle in the fact they're kind of really permanent. Whereas at least with the battery one, you can choose where you want to put it and put it in a place that's a little bit more aesthetically nice.
And even though I said that, it is activated and it's permanent, you can still take it off the wall. So if you are renting, as you said, and you wanted to take it with you to your next property, you definitely can do that. I will just caveat your previous points about saying about the hardwiring. I'm not sure whether there's building regs that do require the hardwiring of certain things. I don't know. That's something you might want to check.
Okay.
But I know that hardwiring won't be suitable for every single property.
Right.
And the only benefit of the hardwiring is that if you're in a property and there's either a carbon monoxide leak or a fire at the other end of the house, it triggers all of the detectors. So it doesn't matter where you are, you will hear it. You're not going to have to necessarily be in that room. But,
which is also quite deafening.
It very
we've had that experience, and it was quite unpleasant. So I'm pleased with them. I think they look really good. They look smart. I like the little digital screen. The actually kind of almost looks like a Bose speaker. We've got some Bose speakers, and it's kind of the same kind of design and style. And it kind of just looks. I mean, honestly, I think if you were to walk into a room and see it on the ceiling, you might think it's a speaker. You might actually think it's just an audio speaker. So they are just really. I think they're really nice, and they were. I think it was about 2 inches thick. I mean, I'm sure that it'll be on the website. You can check and find out exactly what. But the depth also wasn't crazy deep. So, on the ceiling, it didn't project down too much. So I just think that, I think it's great.
So if you're in the market for a carbon monoxide monitor and smoke detector, I think this is definitely one worth looking at. It's well built, it's easy to install, it's up and running within a few minutes.
It looks nice.
It looks great, so yeah.
It looks sturdy, looks durable, looks like it's going to work. Perfect.
That's what you want.
That's what you want.
So I hope that you found this video useful and interesting. If you did, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button
give
below.
us a thumbs up, guys. We need more thumbs ups.
And more subscribers.
And more subscribers.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on our next video.
Bye-bye.